here it is, the Xbox One. The official pricing for it has been announced at being $499 at launch, and this will include the mandatory Kinect sensor. This is their next generation device, and it's one of the things that differentiates Xbox One from, well, PS4 obviously, because the price point of PS4 was a reason for a big uproar. We were super happy it's only $399, but looks like Microsoft are following the more for more strategy, and the Kinect sensor is an integral part of their entire gaming experience. Let's go check it out on stage right now. Right, so as you can see, the Kinect sensor is used for multiple applications such as skeletal animation, impact detection, as well as orientation, and it is going to be used not only for gameplay integration but also for multimedia functionalities. And because of the sensor, multiple functions are embedded into the console, such as it being able to detect, for example, your heartbeat, and then adjust your training routine in whatever sports game that you're playing, as well as the machine knows how to detect when you're not talking at it and you're having a conversation with someone else in the room, and it mutes your voice by default, all thanks to the sensor. So in a sense, the $100 premium over the competing solution is justified just because they have this aspect.
I point out that Scott has been correctly identified. He has an account on the box. And Xbox, we're going to look at the Xbox.
Now let's touch down on the subject of their controller. You see what they did is, not only does it have dual motors in this part of the device itself, but they also have added trigger motors. So whenever you actually activate it, you can feel very tactile feedback within the actual triggers. So this is something that will increase the immersion in games, like for example, like if you're actually like here, it's better demonstrated by example here.
Real-time tracking that's going on. So how about if you switch positions? Scott, why don't you walk in front of the gentleman?
Right now there's a very tactile feedback going on in the controller, perfectly mimicking the way that the engine would actually feel. So not only does it vibrate in your palm, but it also vibrates underneath your fingers. And things like, well, brakes.
Oh, one more thing I forgot. Scott has the controller.
According to the guys who are actually helping test drive the Forza game, the fact that it actually has very tactile feedback really actually improved their quality of driving and their performance. So the competing solution does not have that, if I remember correctly. Yes, Microsoft actually brought in a supercar to showcase alongside their Forza 5 demo. Now, what actually makes the Forza different from the previous generation games is the fact that, well, not only does it look better and has a very realistic damage model, but what also happens is this game actually records your driving behavior, or whoever was driving on it for that matter. So after you're done with it, after a few sessions of multiple players playing the game, it actually essentially learns the personality and driving style of the actual gamers, and the AI gets pretty much removed from the game, and all of the quote-unquote AIs you're competing against is actually the recorded driving style of the people who actually have played, which is pretty amazing. This has not been done before, and well, that's pretty fresh. That's new. And here we have the Halo Spartan Assault. What makes this game different is that you can actually play it on your handheld device, and then whatever achievements and unlocks you have gotten while having a mobile game experience translate into your on-console or on PC experience as well, which is pretty interesting for a console play, and it's available for Windows Phone as well as, well, anything that's Windows. So that's pretty neat. Another exciting announcement here at the Xbox booth is the Spark project. Well, Project Spark. Basically what it is, it's a platform for you to create your own video games. It gives you a very easy to use template that you can apply the way you see fit, to create your own game worlds, and it works both on Xbox One as well as PC. Again, something like this has not been done before. It's pretty amazing. Alright, next up we actually have the World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition. This game has just hit 60 million subscribers like a couple of weeks ago, and you know, normally when a PC game being posted to a console, usually it's the other way around, but in this case you can see that, well, the interface is very familiar and it actually looks pretty much the same it does on PC, and this is being played on the previous generation console, so I can foresee a pretty bright future for this particular title. One of the exclusive titles that Microsoft are going to have launching together with Xbox One is Rise, Son of Rome. This is a CryEngine 3 based, well, first-person melee, actually it's a third-person melee game. Now what separates it from, well, another hack and slasher is the fact that you can actually command your legion, and it will be very tightly integrated with the Kinect sensor. So what's going to happen is when you do a certain motion, such as, you know, covering your face, that will signal your legion to, for example, form up around you and create a defensive formation, which is pretty exciting, and the graphics look awesome. Look at it. Just look at it. And this is actually a real-time render. This is not a pre-recorded animation. It's amazing. Now, one of the most controversial topics surrounding the Xbox launch was the used game policy. So we actually approached one of the representatives from Microsoft themselves for comments, and what I have to say is this, that first of all, used games will be supported. The disc, once you actually get it, you activate it with your account, same way as Steam does, but unlike Steam, you can actually take this used game and give it to someone, you can sell it to someone. That can only be done once per game, and whoever you give it to has to have been on your friends list for at least 30 days. They will also enable trading your used games back into retailers, and they will not be charging the retailer a fee about that. The other concern was that privacy, how the sensor is always on and how it can actually listen to your conversation and everything. Whenever you're setting up the Xbox One, it will guide you through the entire Kinect behavior setup, and the only thing that it will upload is whatever you give explicit permission for it to upload, and the only thing that it actually listens to without your direction to is, oh, Xbox on. That's it. Now the third thing is that always the constant connectivity in order to be able to play. What happens is, since Microsoft are going to be using a setup very similar to what Steam does, enabling you as well as your family members access to your entire library of all of your games, so you can have up to 10 people, so long as you're more or less related. The more details will be released soon enough, but the idea is, hey, you can share your entire game collection. Now you will have to authenticate every 24 hours or within 1 hour if you have accessed your game collection from someone else's system. But again, you can go to someone else's house and play your games on his console, which is pretty exciting.